The dinner that ended everything. Elena Foster stepped into the Laurel room with frayed nerves and a heart pounding so hard she could barely hear over it. Her hands wouldn't stop trembling, her breath still coming in uneven bursts. Just half an hour ago, a reckless driver had shot out of a parking garage and nearly slammed into her car. She'd swerved hard, hitting a metal post. Now an ugly, deep gash scarred the side of her vehicle. She'd sat frozen afterward, hands clutched to the steering wheel, her pulse roaring in her ears. Part of her wanted to go home, crawl into bed, and disappear. But something in her pushed forward. This dinner couldn't be avoided. The valet's eyes lingered on the damaged car as she stepped out, pity written across his face. But Elena didn't acknowledge it. She adjusted her coat and walked into the restaurant, heart heavy and legs unsteady. The hostess greeted her with practiced warmth. "Are you Elena Foster?" Hearing her full name like that sent a strange shiver down her spine. Nathan always used full names for reservations. He said it sounded more elegant. The memory sparked a faint, almost painful smile. She was led to a table by the window. A glass of wine waited there, Nathan's touch, no doubt. He always remembered the small things on important nights. Elena slipped off her coat, ran her fingers through her wine-tossed hair, and sat down. Her lipstick was smudged, her palms still clammy, and her carefully chosen outfit suddenly felt wrong. Around her, the softly lit room buzzed with low conversations, the clinking of silverware, the occasional laughter. She felt like an outsider in a world that no longer belonged to her. She closed her eyes, and her thoughts, uninvited and cruel, carried her back. She had just finished grad school when she met Nathan, bright-eyed, ambitious, full of drive. He was already an established client at the firm, polished, confident, but never arrogant. He saw her, listened when others didn't. Coffee meetings turned into dinners, casual talks into intimate confessions, and somewhere in the blur of boardrooms and quiet restaurants, friendship turned into something deeper. Nathan was steady. He believed in her. He showed up after long days with her favorite tea, celebrated her wins, and held her through her failures. When he proposed, it wasn't flashy, but it was sincere. She said yes without hesitation. They married quietly, surrounded by people who genuinely loved them. The early years were full of quiet routines, shared chores, whispered laughter, travel plans, and the promise of children someday. Their life was simple, steady, warm. Now, at that table, Elena checked the time again. Her pulse spiked with each passing minute after 8. Nathan hadn't spoken to her in weeks. No calls, no texts. After everything crumbled, he'd vanished. She hadn't expected him to reply when she suggested dinner, but his message came swift and sharp. "I'll be there, 8 p.m. She didn't know what she even wanted from the night: closure, forgiveness, or a chance to apologize. The server approached. She shook her head. No food. Just her fingertips circling the rim of her wine glass. Her wedding ring still worn in secret, pressed heavily against her skin. The unraveling of their marriage hadn't come in one dramatic blow. It had crept in like winter frost, slow and silent. The passion dimmed, the spark dulled into routine. Nathan remained kind, still brought her tea, and remembered her breakfast orders. But her heart no longer fluttered. Then came Logan Cross, a bold, magnetic client, one of Nathan's key investment partners. He was everything Nathan wasn't: impulsive, charming, unpredictable. From the first meeting, his eyes lingered too long. His words were intentional, pointed. He asked about her, really asked, about her dreams, her doubts, her unmet desires. She told herself it was harmless, but soon she started dressing differently for work, smiling too long at his texts, lingering in conversations that blurred past professional. It wasn't innocent for long. The affair ignited during a conference, a kiss stolen in a parking garage. Coffee meetings became hotel keys passed discreetly between hands. Each time she promised herself it would end, but it didn't. Logan grew possessive, restless. He didn't want it to be a secret. He wanted more gifts. Phone calls at midnight, whispered promises of a new life. He gave her a silver necklace with a sapphire pendant and a note: "You deserve more than what you're settling for." The words burrowed deep. On her anniversary, guilt threatened to choke her. She skipped breakfast, avoided Nathan's calls, She sat staring at the necklace, drowning in shame. That evening, she planned to end it. Logan had asked her to stop by the office before dinner. She assumed Nathan had gone to the restaurant early. Like always, Logan was already there when she arrived, grinning with another gift in hand. "We need to talk." "Alone," she said, her voice brittle. In a closed meeting room, she told him it was over. She couldn't keep betraying Nathan, but Logan didn't accept it. He accused her of lying, insisted she was alive only when she was with him. When she backed away, he grabbed her, kissed her desperate and forceful. The door swung open. Nathan stood there, a bouquet of roses in hand. His face was unreadable. The flowers dropped from his fingers like dead weight. Silence collapsed around them. Nathan's voice was sharp and quiet, like a blade. "Now it all makes sense." Elena tried to speak. Her words tangled in tears. Logan, cold and smug, smirked. "She was never yours. She's mine now." Nathan turned, walked out, slammed the door. She crumpled, sobbing. Logan followed, still trying to plead. She spun on him, screaming, called him a mistake, manipulative, selfish, told him to stay out of her life forever. For once, Logan looked shaken. He left without a word. That night, Elena stayed at a friend's place, calling Nathan over and over. No answer. The next morning, Nathan filed for divorce. No conversation, no hesitation. He made other calls, two to every investor on Logan's project. He told them everything. His reputation carried weight. Within hours, Logan's empire collapsed. His investors vanished. Projects were canceled. By noon, Logan had nothing. Elena lost everything as well. She was fired. Her home emptied. Nathan had taken everything he owned, including the love she never appreciated until it was too late. She reached out one last time, desperate, pleading for a chance to talk. After days of silence, he agreed. And now here she was, back at the same restaurant, at the same table. The clock struck 8. Nathan walked in composed, cool, unreadable, her throat closed. "Thank you for coming," she managed. He said nothing. She poured her soul out across the table. Regret, guilt, sorrow, every lie laid bare. Her voice cracked. Her tears wouldn't stop. And finally, she asked, "Can you ever forgive me?" Nathan looked at her with eyes that once held love, and now held only resolve. He stood up. Without a word, he turned and walked away, leaving her exactly where she had once left him, alone, just as she deserved.